Do y'all remember the Scholastic Book Fair? In case you don't, the Scholastic Book Fair was a one-day pop-up bookstore held at elementary school, and it was awesome, if you had money. My parents wouldn't let me buy anything because they thought it was a waste of money, and considering how I, now a fully grown adult, have only read one book in the last several years, yeah, they were right. But one time, I was able to convince them to give me $20 for the book fair, which was a lot back then. And I'm not even that old. Quick tangent. You know how there's that stereotype that old people are like, back in my day, a nickel could get you 30 pounds of candy. And anyone younger than 40 would be like, okay grandpa. I swear, those grandparents took that personally and jacked up inflation so we would all start complaining about inflation. Anyway, I got $20 and I bought what I still think was the best thing I could get. I bought a video game. And it wasn't one of those dumb kiddie point-and-click adventure games about zoo animals or whatever.
Hot ziggity! Is this ever gonna be fun?
This is not an insult. Putt-Putt is awesome. No, this was SimCity 4 Deluxe Edition. When I got home, I was so excited to play SimCity 4 Deluxe Edition. And then, I didn't. Cause I couldn't figure out how to install it. Why were there multiple CDs? Why do I need a special code? I didn't realize this was an escape room. Eventually my uncle installed it for me when he visited, and I could finally play SimCity 4 Deluxe Edition. And by play, I mean be really confused about what I was doing for a very long time. See, in this game there are two stages. God mode, where you get to terraform the land however you want, and Mayor mode, where you actually build a city. When I started, I didn't realize there was a Mayor mode, so I spent all my time terraforming, pretending to be the Avatar. Then I sat there and waited for the city to build itself, which it obviously didn't. Eventually I realized there was the Mayor mode and I finally started building a city, but then I ran into a major problem. Once you start building the city, you cannot go back to God mode to terraform anymore. So if you want to terraform, you now have to spend a whole lot of money to use a fraction of the power you once had, which was a hard lesson to learn because when I first played, I thought I could build a super awesome city on the mountains where buildings wrapped around the crazy landscape. But then it turns out that people really hate uneven ground. And people will complain if the road they're trying to get to is a few thousand feet below their house, and now I have to bankrupt my entire city to remove part of a mountain. Like, dude, just learn to skydive. Back in my day, I walked to school on land with an angle 90 degrees more than that cliff both ways. And you complain about a tiny, several thousand foot tall ledge? What entitled youths these days? I hate that voice. So from then on, I would build cities on completely flat land. Now, before I continue, I want to note that I will be drawing all the SimCity 4 stuff because I lost the disc, so I can't get gameplay footage anymore. I'm not doing this because I want to do the extra work, so let's get this story going. This is where things will start to get a little silly, but first I need to explain how the game works a bit. In SimCity, you build cities by creating zones. These were residential, commercial, and industrial. Buildings would automatically appear in these zones as long as people wanted to move into your city. As your city grew, you needed to provide services like power, water, sanitation, fire stations, police, hospitals, and schools. Ideally, you want to keep your city as small and dense as possible so your services maximize the amount of people they covered, which made them more efficient, saving you money. Basically, suburban sprawl bad. High-density urbanization good. Who would have thought this game was actually urbanist propaganda this whole time? So knowing you are incentivized to make dense cities, what did I do as a kid? Well, I created a truly breathtaking city design. By doing the exact opposite, I would make 3 giant grids of one zone type each. These zones would be placed far from each other. Then I connected these grids by a single road. Not a highway, a road. Because highway merging was too complicated for me. Because the city was basically 3 separate cities, I had to build one of every service building for each zone and create a massive network of power lines and water pipes to service everything. This means my city was losing money right at the start. Guess what my solution to the money problem was? I built a toll booth on the only roads you can take to get to your job or buy food. Sorry, did I say booth? I meant I lined the miles-long, life-critical roads with back-to-back toll booths. So you had to spend hundreds of dollars and hours of your time driving one way to get food. On top of all of this, there's a feature in SimCity where if you're near bankrupt, you get the option to use your city for government projects to get a little bit of additional income. This would be like an army base, a federal prison, a toxic waste dump, or other things people don't want to live near. So these were generally last resorts to save your city. However, I loved these, and I would always intentionally bankrupt my cities so I could collect them. Not for the money, but because they give you fancy new things to drive, like a tank. Whenever I got the army base, I would drive around the city in a tank and just destroy people's houses like a madman. And if all of this wasn't enough, I would also randomly delete people's houses. Not because I wanted to be mean, no, but because I thought it was giving me money. See, when you delete a building, a money figure shows up. This obviously was the cost of bulldozing, but my dumb kid mind thought that was how much I sold the house for. Like, I thought I was also a part-time realtor and forcibly sold this sad fellow's home, plucking it off the ground like this was Monopoly. And then I was like, oh my god, when I sell this house, they build a new one for me to sell. How neat, let's keep selling them. Wait, why can't I sell anymore? Huh? My city has no more money? That's weird. Oh well, I guess I should build more toll booths. Hey, I see you have no more money. What if we build an airbase? Oh, I can make an airbase? I always wanted to fly a fighter jet. Whee! And that's why you should vote me for mayor. I never got far into SimCity. My strategy always failed, for some reason, and I got tired of being the definition of insanity and moved on to other games, like Dragon Fable, which was way more up to my speed. This is not an insult. Dragon Fable is awesome. To this day, I dream of proving to myself that I am capable of building a functional city, and I think I have that chance now. See, SimCity 4 Deluxe Edition is now on Steam, so join me on a journey to build an actually functional city in City Skylines. What, you thought I was gonna buy SimCity 4 Deluxe Edition again? Come on, use context clues. If I bought it again, I would have used game footage instead of animating everything. God, you're so dumb, hypothetical viewer whose intelligence I'm unfairly insulting because my script dictates you fall for my silly ruse in order to make myself look more clever than I am. Oh, what am I writing? No, really, I'm using City Skylines because I bought it a long time ago and never got around to playing it, so this way I get to legally kill 2 birds. Sorry friends, I don't make the rules. One benefit of City Skylines is that there's a progression system where your city ranks up as you hit higher population numbers. So my goal is to reach max level. Now, I could easily make a boring old city and win, but I don't want to do that. So I'm going to make my city a hive. What does this mean? Well, it means all my citizens will cosplay as bees. They can only drink beers. The radio only plays the Beatles. And there's only one TV channel and it just plays the Bee Movie on loop.
According to all known laws of aviation, there's no way that a bee should be able to fly. This is false.
Okay, but really it just means that instead of rectangular blocks, my city will be made of hexagons. And you know what? The city was going great. Sure, it was an incredible pain to measure every single road with a protractor and then being mad that the last connection was 1 degree off, but you know what? It looked cool, and I was proud of it. Eventually, I reached the point where the foundations of the city were established, and all I had to do was ride the wave to the finish line. So, I decided to celebrate this milestone by building a dam, because that's what beavers do. It's so stupid. There was a problem though. Water in this game actually runs on some kind of physics engine. So after the dam was built, water started building up and eventually started to overflow, which completely defeats the purpose of a dam. I concluded that I needed to rebuild the dam to be taller, so I deleted it to build a new one. However, like I said before, the water runs on some kind of physics engine, and it reacted to the sudden deletion of the dam. See, to the water, the dam effectively vanished, leaving a massive vacuum in its wake, so all the water that built up suddenly imploded, creating a dense mass of water, evolving into a giant water bomb, which then immediately exploded, creating a huge tsunami that flooded the entire Hive City in a massive Old Testament-esque apocalyptic event. I've created Water Pompeii, and now my city is Atlantis. You might be thinking, this surely is an exaggeration, otherwise he'd use game footage. Well, here's the game footage. What's most tragic is that you can't touch anything that's underwater. So this city is permanently stuck in this abandoned, ruined state. Like a monument of my incompetence, mocking me. I guess I'm just cursed. No matter what, I'm destined to never build a functioning city. I guess I'll give up on this dream. Just kidding. I built a new city and reached the highest rank. And it has a working dam. What? There are abandoned buildings? Psh, not a problem. What's that? People have been stuck in traffic for days? They're just exaggerating. This city is flawless. So, what did we learn today? Well, I should never build cities. But I should absolutely build weapons of mass destruction. Seriously, I still can't believe I made a city-destroying tsunami bomb in city skylines. How is that possible? Actually, you know what? This one's not even on me. It's on this game for having a broken water engine. In fact, why do you even need a physics engine for a city builder? What were you thinking? And yes, this time I am absolutely insulting this game. How dare you destroy my hive? Hello. So the other video I had a black screen monologue at the end where I'm just being spontaneous. I'm gonna do it again because I think it's kind of fun. First, I want to say that I'm just goofing on the city skyline. It's fine. I'm not mad about this hype. I'm a little mad, but I'm not like mad at the game or anything. It's a fine game. Anyway, I wanted to talk about the animation I uploaded recently, mostly just the sound effects. I just didn't really know what to do with them, so I just kind of found random sounds to put together, and I was highly thinking of just using my own voice to sound out everything, which I think would have been really funny. Here's an example of that clip. pew, pew, pew. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Gasp. Step, step, step. Parkour.